Thursday Thrills.
I'm Enrique Couto, and this is Thursday Thrills, a quick weekly ride into the creepy stories, haunted places, weird obsessions, and eerie little corners of the world worth talking about. And tonight I want you to picture a road with no streetlights. Not a spooky mansion or a cemetery gate, and not some abandoned asylum with broken windows and a raccoon living in the gift shop. Just a road, gravel under the tires, trees pressed close to the shoulders, the kind of dark where your headlights don't reveal the world so much as cut a little tunnel right through it. Then, far ahead, something glows. Not a porch light, not a flashlight. The clean white beams of a car coming toward you. A ball of light, orange maybe, or blue, or yellow-white, like a lantern swinging in the hand of someone you can't see. It hovers, it bobs, it drifts from one side of the road to the other, and every story seems to agree on one awful little detail. It behaves like it knows you're watching. That's the funny thing about ghost lights. They aren't just lights in the sky. They are a kind of rural horror at its simplest and most effective. You drive into the dark, you see something you can't explain, and suddenly the road doesn't feel like a road anymore. It's more like a hallway. It feels like the world is trying to lead you somewhere. Tonight, we're taking a little paranormal travelogue through 3 of the most famous mystery light legends. The Hornet Spook Light near the Missouri-Oklahoma border, the Marfa lights of West Texas, and Australia's Min Light. 3 different places, 3 different landscapes. Same basic question. What is that light doing out there? Let's start close to home, at least, in spirit. The Hornet Spook Light, also called the Joplin Spook Light, the Tri-State Spook Light, or, by its most cinematic name, the Devil's Promenade. That name alone tells you what kind of story this is. Devil's Promenade. Not county road with possible atmospheric refraction. Not historic rural observation zone. No. Devil's Promenade. The light is most associated with a gravel road in northeast Oklahoma, near Quapaw, though it has long been attached in the popular imagination to Hornet, Missouri, and Joplin. People describe it as an orange ball, sometimes the size of a baseball, sometimes more like a basketball, moving along the road, swaying, spinning, vanishing, returning. The lore says it's been seen for more than a century. Some accounts push the legend back to the Trail of Tears era. The first official report is often cited as 1881. There are many ghost stories attached to it, because a floating light practically begs people to give it a soul. One version says it's a miner with a lantern, still searching for his missing family, while another says it is the headless ghost of a man searching for what was taken from him. I wonder what that could be. Another tells of a forbidden romance. A couple pursued until they leapt into the spring river together, their spirits merging into a wandering flame. Honestly, that's why the Hornet Spook Light is such an effective piece of folklore. It doesn't have one explanation. It has a whole menu of them. Like every generation drove out there, saw the same impossible yet eerie glow, and decided, no, I know what that really is all about. And that's how legends grow, not by being solved, but by being interpreted. The spook light can be grief, or it could be punishment. It could be romance, or a warning. It could be something older than all of that. Skeptics have had plenty to say, of course. Car headlights are the most obvious, but you have reflections, atmospheric conditions, will-o'-the-wisps, natural gas, optical tricks along a long, rural road. And some of those explanations are perfectly reasonable. In fact, with many mystery lights, headlights distorted by distance and layers of air do a lot of heavy lifting. But here's the fun part. Even when you know that, the experience doesn't lose any of its oomph. Because imagine actually going out there. You turn off the main road. The pavement gives way. The woods tighten. Everyone in the car gets louder at first because nervous people try to fill silence. Then everybody says, "Kill the headlights for a second." Bad idea. Always a bad idea. But you do it. And there's that little moment when the car goes dark and the whole world seems to hold their breath. Then, far down the road, a spark appears. At first, you can be normal about it. You can say, "That's obviously another car." Then, it moves in a way you're not ready for. It doesn't sweep the way headlights would. It's not split into two beams. It doesn't come closer like traffic. It hangs there. It dips and brightens. It appears to rise just a little, as if something holding it has stepped over a ditch. That is the point where every theory in your head gets quieter. And the old stories, the ones you've been hearing since you were little, at sleepovers, at campouts, in that one rickety tent your next-door neighbor had set up in the backyard, those all begin to raise in volume. In that moment, regardless of how many insurance seminars you've had to sit through, regardless of how many adult bill-paying sessions you've had to sacrifice an evening's time to, for that little second, in that dark car, you're a child again, wondering if you should be afraid of the dark or of the light. Now, let's leave the wooded road and drive out into a very different kind of darkness. Marfa, Texas. Marfa is already one of those places that feels made for mystery. West Texas sky, open desert, art world weirdness, old ranch country, empty horizon, and that beautiful, unsettling sense that there's more space out there than your brain knows what to do with. The Marfa lights are seen east of town, often from an official viewing area along US 90. That is relevant from a tourism angle because it's not just a whispered local legend. Not anymore. This is a destination. People go to Marfa hoping to see the lights. They build trips around them. There's a Marfa Lights Festival. The mystery is part of the town's identity, and the reports are gloriously strange. Lights appear on the horizon. They can be white, red, blue. They seem to dance, split, merge, flicker, vanish, and, of course, reappear. They're usually distant, which makes them feel less like something you can chase and more like something deciding whether or not to let you see it. Some explanations point to headlights on distant highways, distorted by temperature layers over the desert. Others bring up mirages, electrical effects, or older folklore. The Texas State Historical Association notes that theories have ranged from swamp gas to electrostatic discharge to ghosts of conquistadors looking for gold. The more grounded explanation is that warm and cold air can bend light, creating a mirage-like effect. And that may be true, but again, the emotional truth of the legend is something else, because desert lights, they just hit different. In the woods, a ghost light feels like it's hiding among the trees. In the desert, it feels exposed, impossible, almost theatrical. You're standing there under a sky so big it makes you feel like a trespasser on your own planet. And far out on the black plain, something blinks at you. Not above you, not like a UFO. Ahead of you, on your level, as if the desert itself has opened one eye, and it's keeping it on you. There is something especially creepy about a mystery that is also a tourist attraction. You can stand with other people at the viewing area. You can park your car. You can bring snacks. You can take photos and make jokes and tell yourself it's all just headlights. But the second a light appears, everyone points. Everybody gets quiet. That is the sacred little ritual of paranormal tourism. We pretend we're casual until the moment something happens. Then every modern person becomes ancient again. We stare into the dark and wait for it to explain itself. And of course, it never does. And then there is the Min Min light. This one might be the scariest of the three, because Min Min stories often include pursuit. Australia's outback is already nightmare fuel in the most beautiful way possible. Huge distance, thin roads, towns separated by hours, darkness that never quite feels empty, but does feel enormous. Around Bolia in Queensland, the Min Min light is part of the local identity, with visitors even being warned that they are entering the land of the Min Min. Witnesses describe floating balls of light, sometimes blue, sometimes white or yellow, moving quickly in the night. The really unsettling accounts say the lights follow people. They pace cars. They lead travelers away from where they're meant to go. They appear close, then vanish, then show up again somewhere they shouldn't be. In some indigenous accounts, particularly from the Kimberley, the lights are connected with the spirits of elders watching over the country. Other folklore treats them as an omen or as something that lures people off of their path. Researchers and skeptics have suggested mirages, temperature inversions, bioluminescent insects, birds, gases, and other natural explanations, if there are any even left. But the Min Min light does not feel like a puzzle so much as like a predator. So here's the little fictional encounter for tonight. Not a claim, not a "this happened to my cousin's friend's neighbor," just the kind of story these lights seem to bring about in the human mind. A couple is driving late through a stretch of rural road after making the brilliant horror movie decision to skip the motel and push on just another hour. The GPS signal drops. The radio turns to static. The road ahead goes flat and black. Not even white lines in the middle. Then the passenger sees a pale yellow light off to the left. At first, it looks like a farmhouse. Then they realize there is no house, no driveway, no fence, just open dark and a light hanging there, about shoulder height, moving with them. The driver speeds up. The light does too. The passenger laughs because that's what you do when fear has not fully introduced itself yet. It's probably a reflection, she says. Then the light crosses the road in front of them, not like an animal or another car. It glides perfectly silent and stops on the shoulder ahead, waiting. The driver hits the brakes. The car rocks. They sit there, engine ticking, headlights aimed at dust and scrub and that impossible glow. Then the light goes out. For 3 seconds, nothing. Then it appears behind them, closer, in the rearview mirror. And this is the part I love about Ghostlight stories. They make the safest place in the scene feel unsafe. A locked car, a running engine, a phone in your hand. None of it matters if the thing outside does not obey the rules of distance. That's why these legends have such staying power. The Hornet Spook Light gives you the haunted road, a lantern in the trees, a road with a devil's nickname, a local dare that turns into a lifelong memory. Marfa gives you the haunted horizon, a whole town built partly around the idea that something strange may dance for you if the desert is in the mood. The Min Min gives you the haunted pursuit, a light that does not just appear, but follows. And yes, we can be fair. Many mystery lights probably have natural explanations. Distant headlights can distort. Temperature inversions can indeed bend light. Human perception gets weird in darkness. A lonely road is basically a laboratory for fear. But that last part cuts both ways. Because maybe a lonely road makes us imagine things. Or maybe a lonely road is simply where we finally begin to notice them. So the next time you're driving through the dark and see one small light where no light should be, do the sensible thing. Keep driving. Do not turn down the gravel road. Do not kill the headlights. Do not try to prove you're brave for the group chat. And whatever you do, do not follow it, because maybe it's just a car in the distance. Maybe it's just air bending light. Maybe it's nothing at all. But if the light starts following you back, well, now you are part of the folklore.
Come back tomorrow for more fear. Until then, lock your doors, as if that will help.